Alright guys, the modified version of these exercises you can do with all dumbbells. So we can do a dumbbell deadlift, we can do a dumbbell clean, we can do a dumbbell push press or overhead press, and we can do a dumbbell power press, okay? Which is some dynamic movements, all with the dumbbells. I'm going to go from one to the other in transition and give you a few repetitions, okay? So we're going to have the dumbbells down at the floor. Now just like we would have a barbell down by the shins, okay? We can bring the dumbbells right here. Hold the top of the dumbbell and bring it up, down, and up, just like a barbell deadlift. So notice how I'm holding high on the dumbbells here, right? To kind of simulate that barbell position, and then bring it up, just like a normal barbell deadlift, except we're using dumbbells. We got our dumbbell hang clean. Dumbbell hang clean, just like you would with a barbell, okay? Down, and then up, down, and up. And you're gonna rock those dumbbells back so that they catch right on your shoulders, okay? Just like we would catch with a barbell, down, we're gonna catch, down, and we're gonna catch. We're gonna roll right back on your shoulders, okay? So dumbbell clean, pop, pop, okay? Don't really need to hop because the weight's probably not gonna be heavy enough unless you got 50 or 60 pound dumbbells laying around. The dumbbell push press. So the dumbbell push press, just like we would done with the barbell, drive the hips, pop, drive the hips, catch, down, drive the hips, and catch. If you're just doing a military press, that's fine, but the dynamic version, load those hips, catch, control it on the way down. Now the power press is a little bit different. You're going to take it from the floor all the way up. From the floor, all the way up. That's the dumbbell power press. From the floor, all the way up overhead. There you go. Good luck, guys. All right, guys, we're going to be doing shoulder maintenance with the bands. So if you have dumbbells, you can do the maintenance with the dumbbells or plates, that's fine. But if you have none of that and you have a band, we can show you a modified version how to do the shoulder maintenance with the bands. What you're going to do is you're going to have that band wrapped around the back like this. And that's how we're going to start our 90-degree rotations. Nice and slow, under control. Okay, from here we're going to go one arm at a time. We're going to keep this arm down and tight, and then we're going to bring this arm up to our 90-degree and rotate it down. We're going to do the same for both arms. So keep this one up, nice and slow, controlled 90-degree rotation. Now we're going to go from the top, bring it down, from the top, bring it down. Then from an extended position here, we're going to do a fly motion to the front, under control, and then we're going to do an outward extension, pushing the chest out, squeezing the shoulder blades together, getting those shoulders warmed up. Band maintenance for the shoulders. All right, next we've got chair or stair dips. So if you don't have a dip bar, that's fine. You can grab a chair, or you can even go to your set of stairs and put your hands up on the second or third step, depending on what's comfortable for you. I'm going to be using a bench, but a bench could very easily be a chair or something elevated that you have in your household. So all this is going to look like, have a seat, make sure your hands are comfortable on your chair or on the stair. They're not going to slip off. We're going to bring our hips and our back away from the object. Okay, we don't want our butt hitting whatever we're going down against. We're going to bend at the elbows just down to 90. We're not going down any further. And then we're pushing back up. Nice and slow, under control, just down to 90 degrees until we feel a stretch, and then pushing back up. Now notice I have my legs bent to help me stabilize, right? If you go out further and extend, that makes it more difficult. and done. Those are chair or stair dips. All right, the dumbbell skull crushers are going to look very similar to the easy bar or the barbell skull crushers, except we're going to have dumbbells instead. We're going to lay back, weights above the body, bending at the elbows, bringing the weights beside the head, and extending back up. Bring the weights beside the head, and extend back up. Now, I like the dumbbells better because it doesn't hurt my arm when I'm trying to hold the barbell or the easy bar. A neutral grip for me is more comfortable, so I actually prefer these against the other skull crushers. All right, now we're going to modify to dumbbell bench press or band bench press. And I'm going to do the one-arm versions in with this set as well, because it's basically the same thing except we're using one arm at a time. So just like we would with our incline or our barbell bench press, dumbbells, something that you can do at least 6 to 8 times. Make sure you are using weight that you can control. And lay back and bench, good control. Again, elbows closer to the body, you don't want them up real high. Bring them down beside the chest, and then drive them up to the top. Okay, we're not bringing them down by the face or by the neck or the shoulders. Bring it down by the side of the chest and drive. Good control down, drive it up. Good control down, drive it up. The one-arm version is really simple. Okay, one arm is free. You can put it on your hip to stabilize. Good control. Same thing, other side. One arm dumbbell bench. Now, with the bands, if you have a band, okay, very simply, hands inside of the band, okay, and wrap that baby around your back. Now, you can do these seated, you can do them laying down, it doesn't matter. If you're doing them laying down, you're just driving up, controlling down. The band is kind of keeping your arms closer to the body anyway. And if we're doing one arm at a time, same idea. You can also do these seated or standing. So if you have bands, you can do a bench press with bands or dumbbells as a modification. All right, now for the Renegade rows, you can either use dumbbells or a band. If you are using the band, make sure that it is secured lower to the ground and on something that's not going to move. Okay, so if you have something in your house that you can secure it around, maybe a foot off the ground, but that's not going to move, that's what you're going to need for the Renegade rows with the band. With the dumbbells, we're simply going to be in a push-up position, and we're going to alternate. So we're going to pull one dumbbell up, and then back down. And we're rotating, and back down. Good control. You can rotate a little bit. Good squeeze. Great for the core. Also, getting that row movement. If you're doing it with the bands, again, have something secured, and you can reach out, and you're going to pull it back. Reach out, pull it back, switch hands or switch arms, reach out, pull it back, and squeeze. Okay, 2 variations for the rows which you guys can do. All right, now I've got dumbbell and band variations for the bent over rows and upright rows. Dumbbells. We want to bend over so chest is over the toes. We want to pull the shoulders back and squeeze dumbbells. So imagine there is a tennis ball in the middle of the back. We are squeezing those muscles. That's the bent over row. The upright row, we are upright, just like the barbell. Pulling dumbbells up beside the chest. Remember, elbows higher than the hands. We don't want T-Rex arms, right? None of that. Elbows high and squeeze. If you're using bands for bent over rows, you want to put your feet a moderate distance so that the band has tension. You're going to have to adjust it depending on what type of band you have, but just like a dumbbell or barbell, reach down, grab the band, same motion, except we have bands instead of dumbbells. Good controlled squeeze, chest out, shoulders back. For the bent over row, for the upright row, same thing. Make sure you have tension on the band. Depending on the size of the band, you're going to have your hands in different spots. Pull up, squeeze. Good control on the way down. Elbows higher than the hands. Here you've got bent over rows, upright rows. Good. All right, we have band bicep curls. So, depending on the size of the band, you're going to have to vary the position of your feet and your hands, but make sure there is tension on the band. Make sure that the band is securely below your feet so it doesn't fly up and smack you in the face. All right, so you can have a neutral grip, you can have an overhand grip, you can have underhand grip. Bicep curl, same controlled motion, except we are using the stretch bands for the resistance. Good control down, good squeeze on the way up. All right, guys, this is going to be the modified section of the leg day workout. So we're basically going to do everything that we did in the advanced portion, except we're going to do it with dumbbells. So, grab a set of dumbbells that you're confident using. Now, the dumbbell front squat can look a few different ways. So traditionally, we would have the dumbbells up, one in each hand, right? I always put them together so that they're stable. So kicking the elbows up just like we would with a barbell, and then performing our squat. You can also thumb hook the dumbbell just like you would with a barbell, and keep your elbows up. That is also just as effective. So the dumbbell front squat can look a couple different ways. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. The dumbbell RDL, just like we did with the barbell RDL, keeping the knees loose. We're going to push the hips back, chest out, shoulders back, as we allow the hamstrings to stretch down to the shoelaces, and bring it back up. Good control on the way down. Hips forward and squeeze. Good control on the way down. Hips forward and squeeze. We want to keep the core tight. We don't want to round the back. We want to make sure the chest is out and the shoulders back at all times. The dumbbell goblet squat, same as before. We're going to put that dumbbell right on the palms of the hands, and we're going to be able to get a good range of motion as we squat down, try to touch the elbows to the knees. So similar to a front squat, except we're not pushing our elbows out, but we're still controlling that squat motion. Increased range of motion. Now the stair jumps, just like the box jumps, stair jumps, if you have a surface that is elevated, so 24, 36 inches off the ground, something that you're able to do that you know is secure, you do not want to do something that's wobbling on you, it's going to fall. So I've got a couple of the pads here stacked up. All you want to do is find that surface that you are confident you can jump up onto, load the hips, drive those arms back. As we swing the arms forward and drive the hips up, land under control on that surface. Step down, under control, we don't want to jump off. Hips back, load, swing the arms forward, land under control on that surface. Clock lunges. So clock lunges, again, using dumbbells that you're comfortable with. We're going to start with a forward lunge at 12 o'clock. Then we're going to go over to the angle or 3 o'clock. Then we're going to drop back to 6 o'clock. And then we're going to repeat the same thing with the left side, my right side. 12, 3, and 6. Now, something that you guys can play around with a little bit on those clock lunges is when you hit 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever position you're going, you can do one of two things. You
can either do a legitimate side lateral lunge, right, where we're stepping laterally, driving the hips back, or if you kind of want to angle it a little bit, right, and getting a bend in the back leg. Your call, okay? Just as long as you're safe and you're not compromising the joint, the knee joint, you don't feel a strain. Some people prefer just to get that lateral movement. Some people prefer to get kind of a side lunge where they're angling the hips. So either way, you got clock lunges, front, side, back on both legs. And a seated core twist. Seated core twist is pretty simple. Again, things that we've done before, but all we want to do is with our dumbbell, rotate from side to side, twisting the core. If you want to keep your feet apart, that's fine. If you want to loop them, that works too. So, just like we've done with plates, if you have plates, you can use plates. If not, use a dumbbell. Simulate that core or trunk twist. That is the conclusion of the modified version. The conditioning circuit is on a separate video. Have fun. All right, guys, we are going to go through the leg day conditioning circuit. So we've got a combination of squat jumps, plate, mountain climbers, burpees, scissor lunge hops, and knee hug sit-ups. So I'm going to go through each exercise and do a few repetitions to demonstrate what they are. Now, the circuit is intended to be done one exercise right after the other. So as soon as you're done with one exercise, move right on with little to no rest. The idea is to challenge your aerobic capacity, to challenge your muscular endurance so that you can improve. You don't want to stop and take rest in between each one. Defeats the purpose of the conditioning element. So the first activity is squat jumps. Now, squat jumps you can do a variety of different ways. I prefer to do them with my arms out first, and then as I jump, bring my arms back. Good squat down. We don't need to get really high. We're not aiming for the ceiling. These aren't max output jumps, but just getting a good hop or a good jump. Drive those hips. A good squat jump or squat hop. The plate mountain climbers, very similar to a normal mountain climber, except we're not picking our feet up off the ground. Both feet are staying on the ground. I'm going to use these mats because it slides a lot easier than on the hard surface. So if you have like a kitchen floor, or you have a hardwood floor, or even in like your basement, if you have just concrete, it's usually going to slide really well with paper plates. If you have the kind of flexible plastic plates, those work really good too. So a plate mountain climber, really simple, just like a normal mountain climber. Drive those knees in, full range of motion. And go at a tempo that you believe is challenging for you. So obviously I was doing them very slow so that I could show you guys what they look like, but go as fast as you're able to go. Allow yourself to be challenged. A burpee, we've done burpees a million times, but I'll demonstrate them just because everybody likes to see what they look like. So again, a burpee, we're going to go all the way down, touch the chest, all the way to the ground, up, and hop. We're going to go all the way down, chest to the ground, and hop. That's a burpee. Scissor lunge hop. All we're doing is splitting a lunge or a split squat, and then switching legs. On the way up, all the way down, good control, and switch. Knee hug sit-ups. Knee hug sit-ups. We're going to start with our body out straight. We're going to bring the knees in, and we're going to sit all the way up and hug the knees. We're going to kick them all the way back out, bring them in, hug those knees, and then back out. All the way up, hug the knees, and extend. That's a conditioning circuit for the leg day workout. Have fun.